What's good, man? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Early. Prayers been answered. What's up, Ashley? You been early, huh? The early bird gets the worm. You never know. You never know. Oh, hold on. Cause to make it, I'm $1 million, baby. I can clean up good for you. Oh. What it do? All right. We bite. Forgot I wanted to play a video for y'all. But I ain't got it. And I don't feel like getting my other devices. So we're gonna have to make it work. What Smokey Mama say? Make it enough. What up, Blazer? We're gonna have to make it enough. I want to talk. Tomorrow's Father's Day, man. It's only right. Tomorrow's Father's Day. It's only right that we talk about father abandonment on Father's Day. I feel like it's the right time to talk about it, to be honest with y'all. I know a lot of people don't think that's the right time to talk about it. I think it's the perfect time to talk about it. Perfect time to talk about father abandonment on Father's Day. All of y'all, all these dudes running around talking about tomorrow's for the daddies and it ain't for the mamas. Shut up. Shut up. If you ain't there, how you mad? Why you saying something? For lost father-son bonds. Oh, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. So we gonna talk about it. Move to a whole other state. Y'all put everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTubes, everybody in the YouTubes. Just start flooding the chat with y'all stories of how what happened before we even get into it, because I know y'all gonna tell it anyway. Just go on and flood the chat with the stories. Go on and flood the chat with all the my baby daddy did. I want to hear all of them. I want to see them all, because the thing that I find funny about, like, when I have these conversations with these dudes is they don't never want to, y'all, like the men don't, they want to have anecdotal, they want to have the conversations rooted in anecdotal experiences. So then when I go, okay, well, let's talk to the women, they go, nah. I'm like, if we just go, hey, since we all telling stories, I'm gonna let the baby mamas tell the stories. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we're telling stories, and I gotta listen to you tell me about how all your homies in your circle is great and all of that stuff, why can't I listen to the women? If that's the case. You see what I'm saying? So do y'all want to have a battle of anecdotes, or y'all want to have this shit rooted in fucking, which I think that the baby mamas telling more of the truth than not. I think the single mothers, I think the moms, whatever, I think they're telling more of the truth than not, right? I think they're 90% probably true. There's probably some mixed up shit in there, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Some personal digs in there, whatever. I'll account for that. But for the most part, the story is too common. The story that I've heard from women and what I've seen in real life adds up. Like I don't need numbers on this, but the numbers also support what the women are saying. Once again. So I don't even like if y'all don't want to have the story rooted in the if y'all don't want to have the conversation rooted in the numbers, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I ain't gonna hold you because y'all don't stand a chance. If we're talking if we're talking about the numbers, the fellas don't stand a chance, right? Every indicator points to father abandonment, yada yada yada, right? When they talk about parental alienation, it's typically fathers alienating themselves from their kids' life. That's father, to me, that's what I've seen. I haven't really seen or ever seen a woman alienate a father from their kid's life without just cause. I've seen it before, but he was, an abuser. He was a user. He was something like that. Okay, cool. But typically where I see alienation is the father alienates himself. That's typically what I see. And then they say it's they're alienating me, or the father does some egregious thing like touch a child in the family or, abuse a mother or whatever the case may be, for educational purposes, TikTok. And then the family turn, is like, I don't know if I want Bill around anymore. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. And gentlemen, feel free. Feel free, fellas. Tell me your stories about how you had to fight for your kid. I'm with all of that because I've heard it and I respect it too. I got some dudes, some good dudes that I believe are good men and decent, decent human beings, and they fought for their kids, and they won. They got some custody and they, and all of that stuff. And I don't, like I know that happens. You know what I'm saying? But this narrative that men, quote unquote, have to fight for their kids the majority of the time, that shit got to stop. That shit got to stop, man. Like, it's just not a reality. It's just not a reality. How do fathers have to fight for their children when 90% of cases don't even go in front of a fucking judge? 51% get settled between the father and the mother is they both decide that the mother should be the custodial parent like 85% of the time, if not higher. So what are you talking about? Where's all this fighting going on at? What be happening a lot of times is the men leave, they abandon the kids for a period of time, and then the moms be like, nah, you can't come back. The moms be like, nah, you can't come back. Ain't nothing I said inaccurate, LJ. I haven't said anything that's inaccurate. I would love to hear what I said that's inaccurate. Let's hear it. What have I said that's inaccurate? Tell me. What's inaccurate? What's up, man? Hold on. There we go. Okay, go ahead. We hear you now.
All right. So unless you're talking specifically about where the mother and the father do not go to court, you can't have a court order without a judge's signature. You got to go in front of the judge.
No. Yeah. I'm saying that the mediation part of it takes place without the judge. It's not like a judge is like ruling on your case. You see what I'm saying? Like at some point, like a ticket got to get signed or whatever got to get signed by a judge. Cool. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the judge ain't sitting in there ruling on the judge ain't ruling on 98% of cases. 51% outside of court, the 48% inside of court. Like the judges ain't ruling on these cases. Yeah, they sign it. They got to look it over. I get it. That's cool. They put their stamp on it. But what the fuck does that mean?
No, well, in that case, then the vast majority of cases, I think there's only like 2 states that doesn't have mediation in place, but the vast majority of cases, the judge, you go see the judge first. The judge, if you and the mom can't agree on terms, they will send you to mediation. The mediator, depending on how bad the situation is, it could be a half day or it could be a 2-day, right? But you go through mediation. The mediator will meet with the mother, the father, and depending on the age of the children, if they're, like, at least in the state of California, the kid is 13 years or older, then they'll interview the kid as well and ask them what they want. The mediator will make a recommendation. You go back in front of the judge, and then 95% of the time, the judge is going to adopt whatever the mediator said, unless one of the parents has some mitigating concerns that would overrule the mediation plan. So, but you still got to go in front of the judge to get your order.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the judge is ruling over on the case, right? Because they go with the mediator, like you said. So it was pointless.
Yeah, no, the mediator just makes a recommendation. The judge is the one that actually either adopts it, modifies it, or does something completely different. But at the end of the day, the judge is the one that has the final say. But they're not about to sit in court with the parents and go back and forth and trying to figure out where the child should be. That's what mediation is for.
Exactly.
The mediator gives a recommendation, right, based on the facts, and then that's turned into the judge. The judge reads that report, and then based on that, the judge makes a decision as to what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even know if what you're saying is accurate too, because I don't think you go in front of the judge first. I think you go from what I've seen. That's not. Yeah, that's not the case. But I don't know. It could, because the shit is different from state. But bottom line is, I don't want to get lost in the weeds. Right? I don't feel like I'm not going. This ain't even about that. What I'm saying is, first and foremost, is that whether you, regardless of whatever people are saying, it's not a fight. You go to mediation. You work it out. In the vast majority of cases in mediation, it's worked out. The vast majority of the time. Before you go to court, it's worked out 51% of the time. So the vast majority of the time, men don't have to fight for their kids. That's my point. There ain't no nobody is making a ruling against you or whatever the case may. That's not happening in the vast majority of cases. So my question is to the men who keep going around here screaming at the top of their lungs that that most men have to fight to see their kids. I'm trying to figure out where that's true. Like where is that true at?
Historically, okay, so I have an older daughter and then I got 2 younger daughters. So in the state, we're both in the same state. In our state, historically, right, it was that way, where you had to go to court and the default was you was a weekend dad. You got every other weekend, and anything above and beyond that, you literally had to keep going back to court to try to get more and more time. Now, most states are this way. In the last, I would say, 8 to 10 years, most states default to a 50-50 because that's what's in the best interest of the kid. The states got together, they did a commission to determine what was in the best interest of the child relative to parenting plans. And what they determined is that children do better when both parents are more actively, evenly balanced and active in the child's life. So they stopped doing the whole every other weekend for dads, unless dad just is in a bad situation where he don't have his own place, or he don't have an adequate living situation, or he got some other issues going on. If none of those things are true, and the dad is just on equal footing as the mom in terms of employment, housing, and all that other stuff, now the default is you get 50-50 from the jump. And what happened specifically in my case, because I have full custody of both my daughters after I got divorced. Now it took me some time, but I have full custody.
Most fathers who fight for full custody get full custody. By the way, most men who actually fight for full custody get full custody. Just FYI. But keep going.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that, but what I'm saying is it doesn't happen out the gate. It normally starts with 50-50 because that is what's in the best interest of the child. And
thanks for the cash app, Kim.
There's some other,
No, I'm saying I'll shout out Kim. Thanks for the cash app. Go ahead.
Yeah, but usually what happens is there's other things that continue to happen where the courts will then start to, for the mom or the dad, will start to pull parenting time back, right? So if you're saying in the last 8 to 10 years, fathers have not had to fight for their kids, I agree with you. If you're talking just historically over any extended period of time,
historically, they never had to fight for the kids because they didn't fight for the kids, LJ. That's why that's why the courts, that's why the laws were put into place, because men were historically just abandoning their children. So historically, what you're saying, is ahistorical. What you're saying about it being historically, men used to have to fight, that is actually ahistorical. Men used to just abandon their kids. They would just leave them because there was no repercussion. They'd have to pay child support. There was none of that. Then they and men, it was so rampant that the courts was like, hey man, the system was like, yo, I mean, I get it. I don't want to take care of these little buggers either, but y'all gonna have to start, we gonna need some help over here. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when they started changing the laws and making it like, child support and custody and blah, 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 blah. Because once child support became a thing, then now it was like, okay, if I'm gonna pay, then I want to see my kids. You see what I'm saying? So now we gotta hash out the custody shit. So historically, what you're saying isn't true. Men have never had to fight for their kids, ever. And I'm not saying no man. Listen to what I'm saying, because you know how I talk. I'm not saying no man, because you are a man that fought for your kids. So I'm not denying your story. I'm 100%. I'm like, cool, I get it. You fought for your kids. I'm saying men in general have never had to fight with never had to fight for their kids, right? Even and what I'm saying is that even when the court systems were opened up, the women weren't using the women are using the courts more now than they're using the courts more now than they were back then. So it's even less. Like, I bet you if you looked up the numbers from like 1960, 1970, when divorces happened or when breakups happened or whatever, and the mom had the child, I bet you very few women, very few men were going to court. Appreciate you, Bullet, for the Cash App. We're going to court for mediation or whatever, for their kids or whatever the case may be. Like, I bet you very, very few. Today it's at 51%. In 2024, it's at 51% aren't going to court. So you could imagine what it was like 40, 50 years ago for women. Like, they was like, I ain't going to court. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? The men definitely wasn't going to court, right? Because they was abandoning their kids. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't, the point in all of this is not to nitpick and be like, oh, well, this is the process. Like, I couldn't care less about that, even though I understand the process too. Nothing I'm saying, I appreciate you, Krisha, for the Cash App. Nothing I'm saying goes against, nothing I'm saying is, I'm not spreading fake news out here, right? Like I said before, and I stand on it, what I said initially was 100% true. Most people are not going in front of a freaking judge to fight for their children, men or women. I'm saying most of them, the women would do it, but you know what I'm saying? But like, they don't have to do it. They go to mediation, or like in most cases, they hash it out before they go to court. That's the reality. So what are we talking about? Now let's get back to the point. Most fathers don't have to fight to be in their kids' lives. They just don't want them kids. They don't want to be around them. Once they lose access to the women, they don't want to be around the kids. What are we talking about? And I'm talking about, go ahead.
No, I hear you. Okay. So I think just where I said it was inaccurate. So you're just saying.
Thanks for the Cash App, Nicole.
All of these circumstances or situations, because when you use the word case, I'm thinking you're talking about actual, like they go and open up a case at the courthouse, right?
Nope.
But you're just saying that most of the circumstances and situations, the parents are able to work it out amongst themselves where they don't get the courts involved. And that's 52% of the time. And then the remainder of the cases, you're saying that when the courts do get involved, that most fathers aren't going to court to advocate for more parenting time.
Yeah, first of all, most fathers don't even show up, right? Most of them don't even be doing the paperwork. They don't do that shit. Most of them don't. Even when they're that's the wrong word. Even when they're expected to show up, they don't show up, right? Then the ones that do show up, it's kind of like how they be with their kids. They be inconsistent with showing up. They show up the first day, they don't show up on the third day. They show up on the 8th day, they don't show up on the 7th. Like, they don't be showing up. They don't be showing up with the right shit. They don't be showing up with the documentation. They don't be showing up with the information. Like, they don't be showing up in so many ways, right? Then the mediator, who is a fucking regular, I mean, in this case, I'm like, damn, this is an easy call. They're looking at the dad and they're like, okay, They're like, okay, clearly this motherfucker ain't fit to take care of these babies. And they give it and they award the mother with sole custody or whatever form of custody. But even in those cases, if the man is there in any way, shape, or form, he gets some form of custody. He gets some time, and he probably doesn't even deserve it. That's the thing. Like, I don't think people understand this about parenting, but fathers, parents, mothers, whoever, they can be neglectful. So I don't care if you're that baby's biological father. If you're treating them like this, and worse, you shouldn't get them. This is abuse. Like, what the fuck? Why would they want to be? This isn't common. That's common. This is common. This is really, really common for men in general. This is how we treat our kids. There are so many videos depicting how men watch their kids. And how do men watch their kids, LJ?
Yeah, they usually drop them off with a family member.
No. When the kids are there, they're in the house with the kids. How do they watch their kids? Like, let's say,
they probably have in front of the TV playing a video game.
Nope. What happened? That's a part of it. But or they're in another room, and what happens? They hear a noise. What they do?
Oh, what's going on in there?
Exactly. Yeah. That's how we watch our kids. Hey, y'all better stop all that fighting in there. That's how men, we're not attentive. We're not in there. Like I told y'all before, every time I come home, my wife and my son on the couch together, they hugged up. He on one end, she scratching this little boy foot, and he on his iPad, and she on her phone, and she doing work, and but they just always around each other, right? Like when I'm at work and I come in the house, that's where they're at. They're always like, she's always with him. She's always with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no, you're right about that. But it also depends on like what stage of life they're at too, right? When he becomes a teenager, that's probably gonna change a little bit. But I understand.
Of course, yeah. Of course, when the kids get older and they have their own lives, of course, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, but even then, the parent that is most likely to remain involved is the parent that was involved when the kid was this age. It ain't like men flip a switch when the kid becomes a teenager and then we just start becoming being this like involved parent. We're not. If we weren't involved when they were this age, they were not going to be involved when they're 16. You see what I'm saying? But
that's a fact, and that was a factor. That's a fact.
And that's
I don't disagree with that.
And there's so many ways that I personally have seen this, experienced this firsthand, all of these things. Also been a part of it myself as a father, being not attentive to my kids at times or whatever the case may be. Seeing it in other dads not being attentive or whatever, not talking to their kids when their kids is trying to talk to them, sitting on their phones, watching the basketball game, playing the video game. I've seen that before for a lot of times. And I mean, like I said, if we just want to have the discussion rooted in the numbers, if we just want to have the discussion rooted in the data, then the data says that as well. The data says that the fathers aren't as involved. Nowhere near as involved as the mothers are. We know that. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to court, when you go to mediation, when you go in front of the judge, it only makes sense that the moms by default are the default parent, because we know how our society functions. It don't make no sense to play dumb about it and say, oh, there's some dads out here that are better. I know there are, but you will be way safer as a judge. You'll be it's like the same thing I say about believing SA victims, right? Yes, there are some women who lie. I just saw a video on a girl who lied on this boy who played college basketball for Syracuse. I remember the story, came out, she lied, da-da-da-da-da. Cool. With that being said, though, if you're a betting man, if you're making a wager on if the person is telling the truth or not, it is safer for you to believe the alleged victim than it is to not believe them. You're going to be wrong the vast majority of the time if you don't believe the person that says that they were a victim of SA or abuse, right? Now, that same logic applies to me, to the decisions in family court. As a judge, it's safer just to assume the mom is the one that is rearing the child. It's just safer to assume that. You're probably right. How much of the time? 80% of the time? 90% of the time?
What I would say to that is that to what I said about 5-6 minutes ago. The courts, they did a study nationwide, right? And they looked at what is in the best interest of the child, right? And I don't think you're arguing against this, but the vast majority of states now are defaulting to 50-50 child parenting time based on the commission of that study. Because both psychologically, financially, and in other ways, the child benefits from having equal parenting time with both parents. Now, what you're saying is, as far as the courts, when they default to the mom being the primary custodial parent, and then the dad only having like 1 or 2 weekends out of the month, there is some extenuating circumstances in that situation as to why that is. But the vast majority of the time now, the courts are not issuing the mom just like, because I think that breaks down to like 84, 86% parenting time when the dad is a weekend dad. He only gets every other weekend, Friday to Sunday, that typical stuff. Which is what I was saying historically, because I know with my first daughter, that's what happened all the way up until she got 12. And her mom, to credit to your point, her mom called me one day and was like, I can't do it no more. She's graduating this in 2 weeks. When we get done with the graduation, all her stuff in the car, she's going with you from now on. And it was supposed to just be for a year, and it ended up being until she was grown and moved out on her own. So
graduating from where? From junior high school?
I agree with what you said. Sometimes the parents work it out where they don't have to go back to court. So, but yeah, that's it, man. Like I think somebody was asking like why that is. And I think you touched on this before, and I'm gonna drop. You could talk more to the chat about it, but they want to know why dads don't go to court and fight for their kids. Why aren't they showing up? From my perspective, I think most men are just overwhelmed by the court system. I'm a very persistent and analytical person. I don't get emotional, so I was determined to do what was right by my kids. But like, I'm not trying to excuse men's behavior, but that would be my answer. But
I don't think men get overwhelmed by court. I don't think that's what it is at all. I think men, you know what? I don't disagree with that. Men do get overwhelmed because men aren't prepared. So it is overwhelming when you don't know where shit is. You don't know where the baby social security card is. You don't know shit about the baby. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? It can be overwhelming. Yeah, I can see that. But that's still his fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not the court system that's overwhelming. It's his lack of preparedness, right? Him not being prepared is what causes him to feel overwhelmed in court. Like I've done like 1,000 shows, right? Like I'm not talking about live. Like I've done 1,000 shows, like live performances, right? The only time I was ever nervous was when I didn't get to rehearse for the show. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't get like good rehearsals in, I would get nervous. But if I rehearsed for the show and I was, you know what I'm saying, and I did that, I was never nervous. I've been on stage in front of 10,000 people. I wasn't nervous because I rehearsed. It's not, you rehearse, you don't even see the people when you go out in the crowd. You just perform, you get off the stage. You know what I'm saying? I never like going to court. If you're doing anything like that, if you're prepared, there's no reason to be nervous. There's no reason to be overwhelmed. You go there, you work it out, right? You go, you know exactly what it is. You got control, you got power, you know, you got your information, you cross your T's and dotted your I's and all of that stuff. You don't got to worry about it. But the problem is men don't do that. And it's not because has nothing to do with the system. That's because of us. That's because we don't think it's important for us to do those things. Because I've said this before, but men try to take I've heard men talk about getting divorced and the woman was trying to take like their property, like their money, or their house or whatever. Oh, they got CVS receipts for that shit. They got all the receipts in the world. They got all the time in the world. They got all the patience in the world. She trying to take my stuff. No, she can't take my stuff. She wasn't with me shooting in the gym. But when it comes to them kids, all of a sudden I'm overwhelmed. All of a sudden, I don't know. He expects me to know where my kid's social security card. Yes. Where's the EpiPen? Yeah, know where the EpiPen is. Like that is the thing that I've seen so many times when it comes to men in court, right? Like
that's a fair point. That is a fair point. I will agree with you that if it comes to either their stuff or their money, most of them were going to show up to try to figure out how not to get their stuff up. Yeah, so that's true.
Can I chime in?
Yes, ma'am.
Public for 2 seconds. First of all, I don't know if you saw the chat when LJ first started talking about mediation versus going in front of the judge, how they was screaming that he was loud and wrong. I was too. Don't nobody go to the judge first. They go to mediation first in most cases, not just in California, but I know for a fact in California, they go to mediation first. Now, I can agree with LJ on one thing, only one, is that they don't automatically just give the daddy every other weekend or something like that. They're not like that. Now, they try to give the men 50-50 or more time. And that starts with mediation. You have to come like with a parenting plan and all that stuff, and it's hashed out there. Now, if there is one parent that is being ornery, and that's a lot of times that's the daddy, and they're not agreeing in mediation after a couple of tries, then they go to the judge. And when you come to the judge is not happy to see you because he's looking at somebody as being unreasonable, and he's going to ask the mediator, who's unreasonable here? And who had the plan and all this other stuff? And it's usually the man is acting up. Okay? Mediation is always first. And if you get in front of the judge, he's asking who was acting an ass. And he's not going to look favorably upon the person who is not being agreeable.
I think that.
So I just wanted to say that.
I appreciate that. I do think something is also, this is going to sound, I don't know, man. Automatically awarding, man, damn, this is going to sound bad, but I don't know how else to say it. I think it's actually not in the kid's best interest to automatically award 50-50 custody to men.
I don't either, because the men ain't up to par.
They don't be up to par most of the time. So I don't think that it's, I think that you put the child at risk, like automatically just by default, because he's the kid's father. He automatically gets 50-50. I'm like, I don't know about that. It doesn't, I don't agree with that.
In some ways I want it, and in some ways I don't. In some ways
that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely conflicted because I'm like,
in some ways I want it.
Yeah.
In some ways I wanted to force the daddies to step up, figure the shit out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. You know?
Yeah. But they not though. That's what the majority of the time.
Anyway.
They not. And that, but yeah, no, I agree. It's like a part of me, I'm like, yeah, like, because we joke all the time, like drop them babies off with them men. Like, don't do that though, because we know, you know what I'm saying? Like the women know, we just be saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody that say that type of shit, we just be saying that shit.
I actually think more women should do that. If he's not a crackhead, I'm sorry. If he's not a, what do I have to say? What do we have to call it? If he's not
fit, yeah.
Or
yeah, if he's fit
in some way. Make him figure it out. Even if they probably gonna end up at grandma's house or something like that. But he's still gonna have to figure it out. He's still gonna have to be inconvenienced. And this is the thing: if he's not inept, you still need to give something. Give them to the daddy so the mama can get a break. She deserves a break. Let him figure it out. However, he's gonna figure it out. Even if they're at their mama's house the whole time they're with him, can the mama get a break?
Damn,
they don't get no breaks.
That's facts.
You know, so if he's not dangerous and inept, get 50-50 and give him to the damn man. But you know what I found out? I have friends who have children. I purposely didn't have none. See, but I have lots of friends who have children. And I have one who has one foot out the door. She's just making a plan for her escape. Okay. With his schedule, and I'm assuming this is with a lot of men's schedule because they don't have to worry about childcare. Typically, that's the woman's job. A lot of men's schedule won't allow them to have, 50-50 custody and things like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's another thing that goes towards, when you are partnered up with a man and you have children, the woman being in the relationship allows the man to get promotions and work certain hours and stuff like that. But when the woman is absent and you have to try to do something on your own, a lot of times your schedule doesn't, and your schedule's always been like that, even when you were in the relationship, because the kids weren't your job.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
that's facts. I got to answer.
So, anyway,
Ray Riz said public don't have a cool family court words. I do. actually. I just I've never had to go. I've never gone, thank goodness. Well, part of me is thank goodness because, you know, obviously that would mean that, you know, that was the demise of my relationship.
Yeah, that y'all going your separate ways.
Yeah, but also
let me just say this part.
on the front end though, on the front end, I should have been in family court with my mama, with my daddy, but guess what? My daddy didn't want to go. My daddy said he wasn't gonna never pay child support. He said if I ever had, if he told my mama if she ever tried to put him on child support, he's gonna he'll never work a normal job in his life. So she just like, all right, whatever. So yeah, go ahead, LJ. Hey, I appreciate you coming up, Melanie. Go ahead, LJ.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like I don't know what other people's situations are. I just know in the ones that I saw, because I was married, we had to go to the judge first. He issued temporary orders first. As far as like temporary parenting plan, temporary child support, all that stuff. And then we went to mediation. So maybe these people weren't married and they had a different experience, because I do know, at least in California, like they got their own separate court when it's just child support involved. So maybe there's a different process for that route, but I was married and that's the route we went through.
That's good. Yeah, my mom and my dad was married. I don't know what was gonna happen with them. But
anyway, man, I think where I just got caught up in, and then I'll land there, is that you were saying in the case of, but I think you just meant more generally, like in different situations, that's what it was. Because when you say case, I automatically think court.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying court specifically, but yeah. But okay, I appreciate you, LJ. Thanks for coming up, brother. BPG was good.
What's up?
Chilling.
I think a lot of what was said was on point. I think that the sad reality is a lot of men equate, you know, having to fight with having to do anything.
Yeah.
I think that's
why do we gotta fight? You mean show up to court?
I mean, you know what I mean? Like you gotta actually go pick your kids up. You gotta have clothes for them. You gotta, you know, you have to figure out how to dad. And the funny part is, like, with Father's Day being tomorrow, there's been so many posts. It was a dude on Wednesday, and I screenshot it. It was a dude on Wednesday, and he was like, Father's Day is Sunday, and I ain't heard nobody talk about it yet. And one of the women in the comments was like, nigga, it's Wednesday. Like, what did you expect? Like, what do you have in your mind? What's your perception in your mind of like the ways that fathers should be celebrated, you know, based on doing what? Like, because when women say the same thing, when women talk about how hard motherhood is or how difficult, you know, it is navigating having a baby and what your body goes through and mentally, you know, blah, 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 blah. Men always say, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, what are we supposed to be doing? Apologizing because you a mom. I'm not supposed to be getting you nothing for Mother's Day. You not my mama. Like, these are the responses that women get in response to mothering and, you know, being celebrated as a mother. So when it happens on the opposite end, men are almost like flabbergasted. Like, oh, I can't believe I got to fight this hard as a parent. You're a parent. Parenthood will mostly consist of you fighting for your life. Like, I don't care if you in the home, out the home, if you got a decent baby mama or ex-wife, if you don't, like, most of it will consist of you fighting for your life quite literally all the time. And I live with my husband, and I've never had that issue. I think we got married a year after my oldest was born. But even still, even before that, like, it was never going to be a fight. Like, it was never going to be one of those things where it was going to be back and forth. And for two reasons, and I have no issue with telling people this. My husband, and this is kind of how I knew, okay, this nigga probably going to be my husband. He didn't play that. I tried a game where I was like, well, no, I'm mad today. I don't feel like seeing you. You know, you can go on your way. And I promise you, he texted me and was like, look, I'll be there at such and such a time. If you don't want to see me, that's fine. Tell your mama to bring the baby to the door, and I'm coming to get her. I get off work at this time. I'll be bringing her back this day and this time. And, like, what was I going to say? You done put your foot down. And even when, you know, he was still consistently working and he couldn't physically come get her, he would leave stuff on the porch. Like, he would literally, he didn't ask what she needed. He didn't ever have a conversation about what she needed. He would leave boxes of diapers, boxes of wipes, formula, toys, clothes. He already knew what size clothes she was in. I didn't have to tell him any of that stuff. But that's the effects of a father that's involved, a father that's present, and a father that's knowledgeable about their kids. A lot of dudes want women to tell them everything about their kids so that they can pretend to be good dads. Like that's what they want you to do. They want you to tell them all of the things that they kids like, all of the things that they do, they clothes, they shoe sizes. They want you to pack the bag. They want you to pack the snacks so that they can go, so the kids can go to your house for a day, maybe two, and then they can pretend like they're a good dad so they can have something to post. But being a father or being a mother is going to be a fight because you're dealing with people that essentially you don't know. You don't know these people. They brand new people from scratch. You don't know them. You gonna be in for a fight. And I don't think that they prepare for fatherhood because they not prepared for the fight.
That's for real. Especially after the fight. I mean, after the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like
literally.
Like during it.
The other thing I noticed too, even with comparing and contrasting my husband with my dad, there was a whole lot of things that I noticed that my husband does that I'm like, oh, my dad just didn't care. Oh, okay. And my parents was married for like 30 some odd years before my dad passed. My dad was very much in the home. He just didn't do anything, and he had no desire to do anything. And there was a lot of things that my mom was trying to make him look like a good dad because she wanted us to have a good dad, where he just really wasn't doing it. And for a lot of men, especially, I noticed the pattern was if they fell out, all of us fell out. So we didn't have a dad if he didn't have access to sleeping with my mama. That was it. That he was gone. He was on his way. And then the moment that he had access to her,
he was back.
We learning baseball. We learning, we going to the drive-in. We doing all these, bonding things. And the moment that access is cut off, again, it's the same cycle. And I think a lot of dudes, they want unlimited access to the mama so that they can also, that helps them in pretending to be a good dad and pretending to be, present in their kids' lives. But the moment that they don't have access to the mama, now she crazy. Now she don't want you around your kids.
Now she alienating. Yeah. Now
she jealous.
It's parental alienation. I'm like, nah, fool. Yeah. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen. Like somebody in the comments on YouTube was like, if you go to family court, you see the fathers aren't always the bad guys. Who said the fathers are always the bad? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like what? Like seriously? Like I'm not even joking at this point. Like I really need to know. Like, are you guys okay? Do you guys think that we don't know that women can also be bad people? Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't believe? Like, are you like what's going on? No, nobody thinks that every single time it's a man's fault. I don't think that. I don't think anybody up here thinks that. Like, nobody thinks that. But the way that we speak about it, it may feel like that to you because the numbers actually are overwhelming that it is the father's fault, though, the majority of the time. It's overwhelmingly the man's fault. Overwhelmingly. In so many ways. I could break it down in so many ways, right? And also, I'm not taking y'all because y'all be the ones, the person who said that is the same person that, like, if one of these, I'm trying to watch my language because I've been getting flagged a lot on YouTube and on TikTok. So no more cursing, y'all. No more N-words. So anyways, a lot of these dim-witted red pill men will get up here. If they were up here arguing against me right now, saying the complete opposite, he would be the dude like agreeing with him, right? Like, oh no, he right. He's spitting. Why would I take what you're saying seriously? When all you guys do is when you see a situation, you side with the person that you identify with. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, it's the man. So you identify with the man because y'all in a fucking cult. You're in a freaking cult. So of course you identify with the man when you see a man. So you mean to tell me you were sitting in there watching this stuff play out, which you couldn't have watched everything play out. You can only see what you see. Every time you go to court, there's new people in court. I've never been to court and the same people was in court with me at the same time. Court is like a river. You can never step in the same river twice. That's how court is. Like, let's be fucking for real. If you've ever been to court as much as I've been to court, every time you go to court, there is a whole new group of people. You don't make friends in court. There's no friends at court. There's a whole new group of people every time you show up, right? So how are you going to say that you saw when you went to court and you saw like, oh, it wasn't always the man's fault? How do you know that though? Even with what you saw, you only got to see this much of the situation. You only got to see that much of the situation. How do you know? You don't know what happened leading up to that. You don't know shit. You don't know nothing. So for you to say that already shows me you have a bias, and you're just going with it ain't always the man. Nobody said it was always the man's fault. Why is that always y'all fucking default form of projection? Your default pivot is it's not always the man's fault. We know the day you hear me say it's always the man's fault is the day you can say to me it's not always the man's fault. But that ain't today. That's not today. But if I say it's overwhelmingly the man's fault, you need to argue with that. Prove that wrong. You gonna tell me it's not? How is it not? Who abuses the most? Who neglects the most? Who's most likely to abandon? Who's most likely to not be emotionally available? Who's most who's most likely to financially abuse? Who's most overwhelmingly it's the man. So I'm putting all of this data together. I'm using all of these markers, and I'm saying I could tell. I know from all of this information, I know unequivocally it's overwhelmingly the men's fault in these situations. Overwhelmingly, right? The first thing I would ask is, why are y'all in court to begin with? Y'all don't even want to have that conversation. Why are you there? What happened? Can we start there? Why did y'all break up? Oh, you cheated? Oh, okay. You neglected her for 7 years while you was building your empire? Oh, okay. Bet. Oh, she asked you to go to therapy 15 times. You never wanted to go so you could learn healthy communication skills. So y'all relationship just devolved. Oh, okay, bet. I bet. But it goes both ways. Like, what? Come on, fam. Y'all could
think of the many times that men even dismiss like the effects of cheating on somebody that you trying to raise kids with this person. And this person has now proven to you that they are a liar. This person has proven to you they get into bed with you, they kiss you on your forehead, they do family things, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time you find out that this person that you're supposed to love and trust has now not only they've given their body and they've taken away time from the child or children that y'all have and essentially lied in your face. They have lived a double life. And women are supposed to be able to accept and embrace that and literally just move on without anybody ever considering the psychological trauma that she goes through trying to battle with living with these two different people. And like me and my husband had this conversation in the car the other day, and we were talking about like the effects of, of cheating and all of that. And I think that the strangest part is that if a man cheats, or if he's a bad husband, people can still consider him a good father. Like, how many times have we heard men say, she trying to keep me away from my kids just because, I had a few indiscretions or whatever. And I mean, I may not have been good to her, but I'm good to my kids. You will never hear no man on this planet say to a woman, well, she a terrible wife and she do me wrong and she lie to me, but she a good mama. Like, you ain't heard no man say that. And you never will, because if she's the kind of woman because this is how this goes. If she's the kind of woman that she's sneaking the dude in, it don't matter if the kids is napping, if the kids never see this man. When the kids is taking a nap, when they at school, whatever, if she's at home and she's sneaking a dude in, she's still a bad mother. Mm-hmm. If she's the kind of woman where she's lying to you about where she's going, oh, babe, I'm just going to the movies with the girls. Can you keep up with the kids? And she goes and she's with another guy. She's she's considered a bad mother. Hold on one second. What's wrong?
CY.
Okay.
Hold on real quick, y'all. CY, please come up. CY said, let's not forget that food stamps / public assistance made men leave their children / household, not the fact that they simply just hate responsibility and love the freedom of chasing other women. Yeah, I'm gonna let's put the link in the chat over here. please come up, CY. I want to have that conversation with you. Go ahead, BBG.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but if you're the kind of mother that does those things, Bella, if you're the kind of mother that does those things, you can't be considered a good mother and a bad wife. Like, those things don't go together. And I think that that's the sad reality of that duality that men can have that women cannot have. Mm-hmm. Like, men can be the kind of man that I watched a lady on TikTok. They was on some kind of confession thing or something where the moms and the daughters were talking to each other, and this lady was explaining, like, you know, how she essentially was trying to hide from her kids that she was escaping her husband. And the more she talked, the more I realized that she was like escaping her husband. Mm-hmm. Because she was talking about how they moved out of the state and they went to stay in a hotel, and she felt really guilty about it because her kids were really close to the dad, and she told them that they were on summer vacation visiting the aunt or something like that. And he was calling, check on the kids, blah, blah, blah. She felt so bad. And they were talking about the relationship that the kids had with the dad, and the daughter was talking about how he was her best friend and blah, blah, blah. And the mom was saying, well, I felt guilty because I didn't want to take him away from his kids because he was an excellent father, but he was an abusive husband. And I was like, wait a minute.
That don't make sense.
Hold on. Back up? Like, yeah, he would bring them on here. He would take the ones in the shower too. He would terrorize me, and he would, you know, do all these harmful things to me, and, you know, all of this. But he was a great father, and I'm like, but no, he wasn't, though, because if he allows for his kids to see violence and he does things to the mom that puts her in a state of stress, he's not a good father. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the measuring stick that a lot of men have, is that, you know, I play with my kids sometimes and I help them with homework, but whatever I do to the mom is what I do to the mom. I'm still a good dad. And when she takes me away from them, she's just jealous of the fact that I'm not good to her, but I'm good to the kids. No, you're not good to those kids either, because you're stressing their mom up you're stressing their mom out so bad that she can't effectively parent. So now you're taking from them another effective parent based on the fact that you don't want to be better as a person to the mom. Like, it was the whole video was weird to me, but I think that that's how a lot of men really genuinely think. Yeah,
the outcomes, we know that the child outcomes are pretty much all tied to the health of the mother, right? So if the mom is healthy and happy, then more than likely the kids will be healthy and happy. So if you're neglecting the mom or abusing the mom, then you're essentially neglecting and abusing the kids, even if you're not doing it to them directly, but by proxy. Secondly, men who abuse the mom are way highly likely to be also abusing the kids. Like think about the level of like compartmentalization that takes to abuse the mother, but not the kids. Like, that doesn't make sense. So in the vast majority of cases, those men are also really highly likely to be also abusing the kids. Dante Adams, you could hit the link, brother. Come on up. Let's have that conversation too. Y'all don't be scared. Dante Adams said, Black men have to take accountability for wrong women they have children with. I disagree. I don't think that that's what Black men need to be taking accountability for. If the woman is wrong and the woman is treating you poorly, or the woman is treating the child poorly, why is that your fault? It doesn't make sense. That's not taking accountability, Dante. Sounds like projection to me. Sounds like that's the shit that y'all tell women to do that don't make no sense. So yeah, we're not gonna have that. But I would love to hear you come up and have that conversation. I can't read all of y'all comments while I'm talking, so come up and talk to me about it. Click the link in the chat, man. And yeah, if you could tap, you could yap. Come on up. Go ahead, Bula.
What's up, public? How are you today?
Good.
I just want to let you know the girlies love your shirt.
Nice.
You've been talking about how nice it looks.
I like it.
You look like you are going to the beach, or it's your day off. So that's good.
I live in the beach, and it is my day off. So there you go.
There you freaking go.
Nail on the head.
Also, I took a poll on which parent is more emotionally available. Mm-hmm. And I think 80% said mother. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, it was. I saw it.
Yeah, 81%. And then I took one emotional, like just for each parent. I was like, is your father emotionally available? Is your mother emotionally available? I think 6% said, yes, my father is emotionally available.
God damn.
45% said, yes, my mother is emotionally available.
God damn.
I think the medium or the average amount of people that voted was like 30, 35. I don't know. I didn't check the last one, but yeah.
That's still crazy.
So and that totally goes with how my worldview is, because I think that even the fathers that are financially there for their kids are not that involved in their lives.
They're not
at all. Like in my culture, it's kind of taboo to be like besties with your parent. Like it's just like not like that. Like it's just like a distance.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have it in your family too, but
that's how people treat their kids in general, Bula. In every culture, we just don't see.
It's just like they don't see their kids as people; they just see them as kids. You know. So, so it just totally aligns with my worldview. Like, I love my dad, and like he's getting better. He's 60 now, but yeah, like he's always had a hard time, like just caring about things that don't.
I got somebody
that don't have anything to do with like his kind of day-to-day stuff, and that goes for like main events too. Like he wasn't at my graduation. He never like took me anywhere. Like I'm not trying to hate on my dad. I love my dad. He was always there financially and provided for everyone. But
I see you, Dante. I'm gonna get to you in a second. I got somebody in a box up here. Just FYI. On YouTube. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right.
I think I pretty much made my point. I also wanted to remind you that Kay wants to be a mod. You know, this is a Kay Stan account. She was in here yesterday and she was asking to be a mod.
Oh, I got her. Yeah. I'll mod her up when I see her again.
All right. That's it. Everyone, bang the Cash App, hit the heart me. It's only like 1 coin. Join the team, share the live, like the live. Let's get to like 50K.
Minimum.
Right now. Let's just get to 50K right now. I know you guys can do it. There's like 187 people in here.
All right.
All right, Pub.
Thanks, Bula.
Thank you. Hope you have a good day off. Take care.
I will. Okay. Brother Dante, what's good, man? You there?
What's going on? What's going on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold on.
You're not acting like little boys. Don't put that jacket on little boys.
Hold on.
My son listens like a motherfucker. He's very malleable.
That was crazy. Okay, go ahead, Dante. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
You're
good. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. What I mean about men picking the wrong woman, as men by nature, we are the pursuers, right? And so, you know, we as men, you know, I say we because I'm a part of the black male race. When I say we as men are bad betters of women because we do the choosing. And some of these guys that be complaining about how the woman keeping the man, you know, keeping them away from their children or taking them to child support court or what have you. A lot of these guys know what they're getting themselves into. They see the red flags. They know what type of women that these guys are having children with. These guys see what type of women that they laying down with, but some of them don't care. And then when the tables turn and she end up putting you on child support or don't want you to see your kids or what have you, now it's all women ain't shit or what have you. But no, you know exactly who you was laying down with, who you was procreating with. You know she wouldn't fit that. She wouldn't fit to have your kids or what have you. That's why what I meant about, you know, picking the wrong woman.
So you think first and foremost, what percentage of men do you think are being, and I don't mean to like give me like a real number, I'm just in general. Do you think most men are being, or a lot, what percentage of men do you think are being kept away from their children?
I really can't give you that, because if that'd be guesstimating on my part, You know,
Yeah,
I
no, I
really
want you
can't
to.
just throw.
Yeah, I want you to guesstimate though. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you like?
Say
I'm not
what?
like going to hold you to it and be like, it's 13%, like whatever it is. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm just curious. Like, what percentage do you think are being actually like kept
It's
away from
it would be in a low percent. I would say damn near maybe 10%.
yeah, like
If
super
let
low.
me tell it, it'll
Mhm.
be a very low percentage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
it's low. So the percentage is low, which means that the vast majority of women aren't doing that to men, right? Also, the whole idea that that you can vet a person doesn't make sense to me, man or woman, right? Like, how do you know? You talking about red flags? It don't matter. Like, red flags don't. People don't interpret red flags the same, right? So you may have looked at that to be a red, as like whatever they did, like, oh, that's a red flag, but to them that's whatever. And if somebody does something, you're like, well, you know, like all right, I want to work with them. I'm gonna give them room to grow, and then and then you address it with the other person, and then the other party goes, yeah, okay, I'm gonna work on that, and yada yada yada, which happens often. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. Like, I don't understand why we are so beholden to this idea of like choose better for men and women. I don't think that is actually because that would fix very little. That's my point. That's all I'm saying. Is like even if you're asking everybody to be FBI level profilers, right? And to like just know, like, everybody has to be master psychologists and like know the human mind and human nature and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not that's hard. Wouldn't it the easier ask would be on the other party to just be better, right? Shouldn't that be the approach? So instead of blaming black men for quote unquote choosing poorly, I would blame black men for doing poorly. You see what I'm saying? Like, before I talk about them, because who cares if you chose a person and that person wrongs you? How is that your fault? You saw a red flag. Who cares? They still wronged you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're walking down the street and somebody looks like they're gonna, cause you some bodily harm, right? But you don't know. You like, I mean, they look kind of quick, but I ain't gonna judge them or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna give them a pass. And then they actually end up doing it to you. Is it your fault? Like, oh, I should have known. They had their head down and a hoodie on. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It seems like the better approach.
Let's say some people can see the obvious. If I'm if I can get my point across a little clearer, let's just say, people can see the obvious or what have you. But no, let's say you say that it's not that person's fault, is the person wrong you or what have you. Say that person do you bad or what have you. But okay, let's say it ain't their fault. Let's say, but it's their problem though, to get over, to fix it. You know what I mean? To not ponder on that trauma or what have you. Don't bring your baggage towards the next person that you meet. If I'm trying to get across a little clear to you. You speak.
So you're saying that once again. So you're saying that there's a woman in the situation. She has past trauma. Who traumatized her?
It would be her.
Somebody
the
traumatized
person
her.
Be somebody traumatized her.
Yeah, somebody traumatized her. So once again,
let us say.
Hold on. So once again, hold on. Wait. So, no, you're good. So once again, let's take my approach. Hey, people, stop traumatizing people. Isn't that the cure? You see what I'm saying? Like, why are we spinning back to so there's a person that's been victimized that caused trauma, right? And that person to be traumatized. Cool. Now they get into a new relationship. They're traumatized from their old relationship. And they're, in your mind, they're moving in the new relationship like a person that was traumatized in their prior relationship. Okay. Is that their fault? No. I'm not going to blame them for that. I'm going to blame, because that's human nature. Of course you move. And also, what does it mean? What does that actually look like to you? When a person is traumatized and they're in a new relationship and they're letting that past trauma affect them in their new relationship, what does that actually look like?
It don't look good. It don't look good for you, and it don't look good for the person that you getting to know, for the person that you involved with.
I know, but give me, Dante, give me an example. Like, what does it actually look like? How does it manifest in a relationship?
Oh man.
We should know these things if we're gonna talk about it to this extent. We should know, you know what I'm saying? We should have like examples of it. Like, this is what it looks like, and this is the harm that it causes. It can't just be like a general idea, because a lot of people like to blame Pat. Like, they like to say stuff like, oh, the reason why she didn't trust me was because of her past trauma. No, the reason she didn't trust you is because you never made her comfortable enough to trust you, right? And her past trauma may have made her more aware of the impending trauma that you were gonna cause her. But that's not a bad thing. That's just called experience to me, right? If something happened to me on my, like, I've given this example a lot of times, but like, I've moved around a lot, and me and my wife, we've moved around. I think we're on our like 8th place or something crazy like that. But we've been together a long time, but 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th place, something like that. But every time we move, we find something out that we like. We're like, okay, like when we first lived together, I would say the second time we moved in, we had carpet, and we were like, never again, no more carpet, right? We didn't we didn't want carpet, and we wanted AC. Those are 2 things we had to have. And in the next place, we ended up getting carpet again, but we got and we didn't get AC because we couldn't afford it. But we was like, man, the next time we got to get wood floors, we got to get carpet, right? And we got carpet and we got wood. And moving forward, we just love. And I was like, man, I don't like going to the damn wash house. I want the hookups for a washing machine so we can have a washer and dryer in our house. So next time we moved, we had hardwood floors, washer and dryer, AC, right? Those are the things that we look for, central air, like so, like. And every time you're in a relationship, it's kind of like that. Like, every time you get in there, you see the things you don't like, you see the things you do like. That's human. Of course you take that into your new relationship. That's normal. So I'm asking you, how does the trauma manifest itself in the relationship? How does it negatively impact the person or the group or the 2 parties in the new relationship?
Well, you made it clear, you know, I'm doing you like this because of the other person done me like this or what have you. Or it could be trust issues. It can be, you know, it can be a variety of other things, you know. Before I continue, I wanted to go back and you know, you address something like, okay, you address if you can't vet a person, you say, right? You say, okay, and then you address okay, if you met a person, that person done you wrong, it shouldn't be your fault. Okay, that's understandable. But I'm trying to understand, you saying you need to be a better person. Why can't you be a better person? That is, if that's what I'm, you know, that's what you had addressed earlier in the conversation, right?
Yeah, I was saying, instead of running around being reactive, right, being reactionary, and talking about the trauma after you've already been traumatized, and saying, see, you got to watch out for that next time, playing like Monday morning quarterback, right? Instead of doing that, how about we be proactive and people work on themselves? That way we're not out here traumatizing people moving forward. That seems like the cure to me.
Okay, I can agree with you on that one. But it's far as the vetting, you say there's no a person can't see any kind of signs or what have you. You say a person really can't vet a person like they want to.
You can't. You can't. The reason why you can't vet, Dante, is because people lie and people mask. So once you lie and mask in a relationship, you remove the ability for the person to vet you. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you're being honest with me, yes, if everybody were being honest, now you can vet, right? Now you can vet, because now you can see, okay, this person is like that, I'm like this, that it may not be compatible, it's compatible, yada yada yada. But people are lying and manipulating. So once somebody lies to you, they steal the ability for you to vet away from you. They take it out of there. So now whatever happens beyond that is on them, because they weren't being honest with you. Why are you expecting me to like discern if you're lying to me or like, I don't know. How would I know that? I don't know. I can't be a mind reader. That's crazy. So I'm saying, hey, Dante, don't lie. Hey, public, don't lie. If I don't lie, then I give that other person the ability to vet. The same way men, you know, let me add. So men, you ever heard the term running game?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Right, running game, right? That we all, man, you know what I'm saying? That's what we was taught to do. He don't got no game, he got game, run game, blah, blah, ran game on this girl, da, da, da. What does run game mean?
Manipulation, really.
It's manipulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you manipulate a person, if you're manipulating them and they're falling for the manipulation, how can they vet you? They don't know who you really are.
But do you think it's something that's obvious, that's just flat out in your face? You think do you believe that you should read a person you should go by their actions instead of their words? Do you believe that saying or that theory?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Here's why I'm saying why that doesn't work though. Because what if to me, people have the right to stay with people even if they've been cheated on. I'm not going to be like, oh, you got cheated on. Like the person cheated, you caught them. You know what I'm saying? Like you're working it out with your spouse, you're working it out with your boyfriend, whatever the case may be, right? But you're working it out with them. They're like, yeah, I'm going to change. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to do all of this stuff. And you want to stay with them. You want to make it out. You can look past the transgression, right? If they cheat on you again, I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to turn around and be like, oh, well, you stayed with her. Brother, she told me we went to therapy. She did all the things. She met all the criteria. She said everything she said she was going to do. She did it. And then she still ended up cheating. How was that my fault? It doesn't make sense. So even in something that's as egregious as cheating, right? How can I blame the person that got cheated on for getting cheated on? It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm always going to blame the person that cheated. I'm going to be like, oh, you cheated. If a person is abusive, I'm going to blame them. I'm going to blame them for being abusive. I'm not going to blame Dante for being abused. Why would I do that? Why are you know what I'm saying? We got to stop blaming victims. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, stop blaming victims, bro. If a woman took advantage of you, Dante, I will never, ever, ever be like, well, that's your fault. I would never say that to you, brother. I promise you. I will not say that to you. I would be like, damn, that's terrible that she did that to you. That's fucked up.
But you know, brother,
if a woman say that Dante did her wrong, I'm gonna be like, Dante, what are you doing? That was terrible. You shouldn't have done that. The same way a woman that said that about me, like, you just got to take it. You need to take accountability for the things you do to other people. You do not need to take accountability for the things that other people do to you. Right?
But you know what, brother? I understand, and I do kind of agree with you, but I really can't give men too much of a leeway because, and you probably grew up around, around the neighborhood, some dudes that they'll stick their dang in anything with no retribution. They don't care who they stick their wad in or what have you.
Yeah.
And and men, we are still in control of who we pursue.
Impregnate. Yeah.
Impregnate. Yes. Mm-hmm. You may have, let's say, you may have a modest woman that's morally that got morals and standards about herself and carry herself in a respectable way. And on the other side, you may have a low class, ghetto, sexy red type woman. And guess what the average black man
No sexy red slander, sir. No sexy red slander.
Sorry about that. You may pick that. It may be that type of female. They side by side. What you think the average man would pick? Now, the one woman, she carries herself upright, moral standards, just conservative, and on the other one, you got the ghetto, stereotypical. Her behind all out, what have you? Talk, she had no class, all vulgar mouth in it. But who would the average black man pick? And be honest. Me and you already know this answer. And it's
I don't know.
obvious.
As bad as y'all be talking about Sexy Red, I feel like y'all won't pick Sexy Red. It depends on where you from.
The average black man, okay, the average black man, he would skip over that good woman and he would get the terrible, he would imprint the terrible one. That's what I'm getting at. That's why I cannot give black man too much leeway. I cannot give black man too much leeway.
Wait, time out. I don't think that that's true. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you something that I think. I think the men who have access to the women you're describing, to the upscale, whatever women, those men typically aren't around the Sexy Reds of the world, right? And I like Sexy Red. I don't know why men hate on her so much. Because like you said, if what you're saying is true, that's the thing that perplexes me. I'm like, so many men and women, but mainly men, they degrade and disrespect Sexy Red or the image of Sexy Red. While you just said that, but they would choose to be with Sexy Red. You see what I'm saying? So it's always confusing to me. I'm like, I agree. Take Sexy Red out of it because I don't, like I said, I like Sexy Red. I think the image is more like this. Women who are not modestly dressed, if you want to say that, women who have a certain level of sex appeal or whatever you want to say, they get pursued more than the modestly dressed, more conservative woman. Yeah. I ain't gonna even hold you. I would be more interested in the less. I don't want no stiff ass woman either. And I ain't saying those women are stiff, but I'm saying
that's the problem right there.
If you say, wait,
okay.
That's not the problem, because those people, that neither one of those things have anything to do with their character. I'm talking about what it looks like. We just talking at this point. I'm just talking about what it looks like. I'm saying if you lined up some square bear from Delaware, or you give it, or you give me like a Lotto type, or like a rapper, a female rapper type, whatever, versus a square bear, I'm gonna take the rapper. Me personally, I like that. I don't know where you, but because I'm like you said,
and that's where black man falls short at. We would take the one that's
what that got to do with it, sir. But wait, hold on, Dante. You're having the conversation wrong. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. What you should be talking about is the character of the women. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about the image of the women. I'm saying based on the image. I don't judge it. There's way more to who you are than your image. So I'm saying the image, the thing that would appeal to me more would be the woman who's half dressed and blah, 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 blah. To me personally, that's the one I'm gonna go for. But if I talk to both, hold on, Dante, hold on, I'm almost there. If I talk to both of the women, let's say I talk to both of the women, right? And I sit down with them and I go on a date with both of them. And the Sexy Red woman, or whatever you want to say in this scenario, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting a bad vibe. I don't trust her. You know what I'm saying? We not connecting. She's not intelligent, things of that nature. Now I'm out. Now I'm gone. Right? But if the tables are turned, because this has happened many a times, the ghetto girl who the men be like vilifying, they be smart and they be funny, and they, you know what I'm saying? And I be connect. I like, that's cool. That's fine. That's good for me. Like, I like that personality more. You see what I'm saying? So I don't like, that's me personally, right? And I think a lot of men like that. That's what I'm saying. Because a lot of men, you got to think, brother, the woman you're describing, the let's say Hillary Banks. This is a perfect, okay. You got Hillary Banks versus Lotto versus fucking Sexy Red versus fucking Meg Thee Stallion, whoever, right? You got Hillary Banks versus them, right? Hillary Banks would get on my nerves. Fine as she is, would get on my nerves. Lotto, Meg Thee Stallion, them, we cackling all night. We laughing, we kikiing. It's funny, it's good times, it's good vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting them drive the boat, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you're talking about the way the women look, and I'm talking about who the women are.
I'm talking about a character too, brother. That's what we having a miscommunication about. I'm talking about a character too. When I place those women side by side, I say the one that's carrying herself ratchet, talking with vulgarity, twerking on top of the cars, You know, just anything come out of her mouth.
That's not her character though,
you
brother. Twerking and doing none of that stuff is adding up.
I'm
talking about. Is she intelligent? Does she have integrity? Does she show up? Is she smart? Like,
okay, let's say she has none of that. Let's say she has none of that. Versus the one that do.
Turn that off, Linux.
Sure. Versus the one that's do. That does have modesty about herself. That does have intellect about herself. The one that have self-respect about herself. You know. Versus the one that doesn't.
Turn it off.
But the problem, but the problem is what that men will go to will procreate and have kids with the one that's not even shouldn't be laying down to have children with from the get-go. But we as men, we end up picking the wrong one and then complain about and pout about it after we've been dragged through the mud or dragged through let's say child support court or what have you. You know, hey, you know what you was getting yourself into. That's why I'm saying I cannot give us black man. I can't give us
this sound, I ain't gonna hold you, Dante. This sounds very far fetched and made up. This is not consistent with anything that I've seen. The men that have access to the Hillary Banks aren't the vast majority of them aren't messing with the sexy reds. And most of the time, like I said, even in those cases, and I'm gonna play your game all the way out. Even when the men bed the sexy reds and they bed the rapper chicks and they bed the promiscuous women and whatever the case may be, guess what? Those women still somehow, some way end up being better people than those men. Somehow, some way, make it make sense. Somehow, some way they end up showing. Somehow, some way, some tells me sexy red is going to be a better mother to her child than the father's going to be to that child. Even as much as y'all like talking crap about sexy red, I almost guarantee you she's going to be the better parent in that scenario. Somehow, some way. Ain't that odd? Somehow, some way that these men that be out here degrading these women and talking down on these women and all of this stuff, right? All of the promiscuous women and this image of a promiscuous woman or whatever. When that woman has a child versus that upstanding man who had access to the Hillary Banks and all of that shit, she still ends up being more emotionally available for that child. She ends up being more consistent. She's in that child's life more. Like, so what's if the man is a better person, prove it on the back end. But typically what ends up happening is he gets into that, he slips up, he makes a mistake of getting with that woman that he shouldn't have gotten with, and then he abuses and neglects the child. So he proves that he was never a good person. So why are we talking about sexy red? What have the sexy reds done to hurt these men? I'm very curious. What have they done?
What have they done to hurt these men? Yeah. I would say what men done to hurt themselves by procreating with them type of women.
But what have they done, Dante? What have these women done to hurt the men? That's what I'm saying. You're vilifying the women, and I'm asking you based on what? Because they twerk on cars. You're mad. Wait. All I heard you say so far was
woman, man. Come on now, bro.
Go ahead.
Bro, I'm not up here vilifying a woman, man. That's one thing about me. No, I'm not up here for that.
You were vilifying those women. You were. You are vilifying. I'm not saying you vilifying all women. You're vilifying those women. That specific group of women. That's what you're doing. You're saying and based on what? Because they twerk on cars and wear booty shorts.
I was using that as an example for what I was trying to express. Mm-hmm. That them type of women that black men always choose and always want to whine about when they ass get thrown through the ringer. And I'm like, we as black men, we sometimes we are poor, we make poor choices when it comes to men.
What percentage of women
it falls on us. It falls on us when they have when these women have children, have these delinquent children growing up. It falls on us because we are we choose women. Whatever we choose with, it's going to reflect on the community. It's going to reflect on us.
Nah, I 100% disagree with that. What reflects on black men is our inability to stay in these kids' lives. That's the only thing that, as far as this is concerned. So I got a question for you. What percentage of women? I mean, you're talking about black women specifically, because I didn't hear you say Paris Hilton or nobody. So I'm guessing you're talking about black women. What percentage of black women are like Sexy Red? If you had to guess, are most black women like Sexy Red or not?
Nah.
Most black women aren't like that, right?
Nah.
Okay. So it would appear to me that the common denominator isn't the woman, it's the man, because whether the man get hold on, Dante. Hold on, Dante.
It falls on us. Didn't you, brother?
No.
It falls on us. It begins with us. It falls on us. We're the pursuers. We set the pace and standard of culture. Culture begins with us. No matter what, we are the architect of culture, and we enable it. It starts with us. That's what I'm saying. So what you're saying, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. It falls on the man, and it starts with the man. It starts with the man. Okay, I'll let
culture
you go, brother. I'm sorry.
Man starts. I disagree with that, but what I'm saying is that, yeah, that was crazy. Men definitely like that was crazy. That was when culture don't start with men. That I know. Tupac said we get our name from a woman and our game from a woman. I 100% agree with that. So I don't know where that's. Yeah, that was crazy. That was wild. I was like, wait, that threw me for a loop. I was like, culture came from men? Like, I don't know about that one. We steal everything. We steal everything from the girlies, fam. I don't know what you're talking about. We steal everything from them culturally. But anyways, what I was saying was, though, brother, if a woman, you're saying that men should be accountable for the women that they choose. I don't agree with that. I think men should be accountable for their actions. I think men should be accountable for the abandonment.
I agree with you on that.
That's all I'm saying. I don't. Okay, if you agree with that, then the other part can. To me, I feel like one negates the other one. I feel like the only thing that men can take credit for or take accountability for is our actions. No, I cannot take accountability for other people's actions the vast majority of the time. It doesn't make sense. And what I was saying was the common denominator seems to be men, because whether the man gets with the Sexy Reds or the Hillary Banks, somehow, some way, these children get abandoned. So we can't be blaming it on the women. Oh, wait, see, you just slept with Sexy Red, and that's why, and that's why them babies got abandoned. No. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Men be abandoning. Rich men be abandoning their kids. Poor men abandon their kids. Middle class men, black men, white men, Latino men, Asian men. We as men abandon our kids once we lose access to women, because we believe we are entitled to the woman's body and the woman's labor. So as soon as women refuse and cut that off, men go, oh, there's no need, I'm out. So I'm to teach her a lesson, I'm gonna punish her.
I know where you're getting at now. Now I know where you're getting at now. Now I know now I get it now. I know what you're getting at now.
Right?
No matter what woman you choose, you stay in that child's life. I agree with you with that.
Hey, y'all give a round of applause for Dante, man. That's all. We got there. It took us a while. It was like taking a fucking boat across the world, right? We could have flew there, but we took a boat. It was nice. It was nice, Dante. We took a nice cruise. Pretty. We got to see the scenery and shit like that. We had a good conversation, but we got there, man.
Yeah, we need to, black men need to be taking accountability for our actions. You're right.
That's it.
You're right. Yeah.
We got to stay in these babies' lives. I don't care if the mama get on your nerves. I don't care I don't care. Stay in them babies' lives. It don't make no sense. If you think if you're gonna sit up here and tell me they mama crazy and they mama abused me and then why would you leave the kids with her? What the fuck? Are you serious? If you gonna sit up here and tell me that about it, well, I ain't saying this about you, Dante. I'm just saying to the men that say this, because I know we both done heard this before. Oh, she crazy. She don't listen. She She abusive. She be doing this to me, and she be okay. Then why would you leave the kids with her all alone? Like what? What do you think she doing to the kids? If y'all truly, so I be thinking that men just be lying about that shit, right? That's about the conclusion I'll be coming to. I'll be like, so they just lying in, because that don't make no sense. There's no, I mean, you gotta be a diabolical human being to have kids, believe the woman is unfit to take care of the kids, and then leave the kids with her all alone. That is diabolical.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And how many men? And don't a lot of men do that, Dante?
Yeah. Yes, they do.
That shit is crap. I can never understand it. I can never understand it. I done heard it so many. Oh, she tried to keep me away from my kids. She toxic, fam. I didn't know what I was getting into. I should have chose better. What does that got to do with you showing up to that? Like BBG was talking about. What that got to do with you dropping off some diapers and some baby wipes? What that got to do with you? What that got to do with you putting some money on them kids' books? That be the shit I be confused about. I'm like, I hear you ain't got to, hey man, you don't like that woman don't like you. I get it. I hear that. I ain't gonna even get into what happened. Fuck it. I'm sorry. Screw it. You don't like her, she don't like you. I'm there. But what does that have to do with the kids? And that be the stuff that annoys me. That's the thing that gets to me the most. Because it's so many men, we just keep making up excuse after excuse after excuse. And all I be saying is, brother, why don't you just be a better person? Why don't you just show up for those kids? That's it. That's all. That's really all I want. But I'm gonna give you this, and then I'm gonna move on.
Yes, sir.
Also, showing up for the kids is showing up for the mother of those kids, because if the mom, if as much as if you dislike her, whatever the case may be, right? If the mom is stressed out, the kid's gonna be stressed out. If the mama ain't doing right, the kids ain't gonna be doing right. That's what the studies say, right? Yes. So I don't be understand. Like, hey man, I really don't even care if I dislike I'm with my wife now, but like if me and my wife got divorced or whatever the case may be, I don't care whatever happened. I'm gonna fix that shit. I'm gonna fix that relationship in myself. I'm saying I'm gonna make, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna do whatever healing I gotta do to make sure I can still show up for her. It ain't mean it don't mean I gotta be best friends with her or whatever, but I'm gonna check on her. Even if I'm mad about checking on her, I'm gonna check on her. You see what I'm saying? Because it's for my kids' sake. Are you all right? Let me just check the temperature. Okay, I'm doing good. Woo, okay, cool. Hit her up. Oh, I've been down this week and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so she's stressing out. All right, I might need to. It ain't even about you. It ain't about her at that point. Like, that's the thing I don't be understanding. I'm like, it don't even matter. Like, you could it. Cool, I get it. But you got to check on her because she got the babies. So once you have the kid, all I'm saying is that if you don't want that to be the case, stop skeeting in these. Stop shooting up the club. Right? If you shoot up the club and you catch a body, you're gonna have to take the, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to take that deal, baby. You're gonna have to take that sentence, whatever it is. If you shoot up the club and you catch a body, you gotta take that sentence. That's all I'm saying. And it seems like it's like pulling teeth to get men to just do that. It's impossible to get us to do that. It's crazy.
Yes, sir, my brother. Yes, sir. I'm glad we got on the same page.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Dante.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got there, brother. I appreciate you coming up, fam.
Oh yeah, man.
Anytime, man.
I'm with you 100%. I'm gonna be in the chat, man. Finishing looking at the show, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Jay said. Hey, Jay said it took a Hawk super jump, but we got there.
Listen, the carrier pigeon had to take the message over there, transcribe it a few times, bring it back to you, send it back to him. But you know what, y'all got it. It's all good.
We got there. I don't care how we got there. We got there. And I respect Dante because we got there. So we ain't nothing but love and respect for me. I love it.
But it's how blunt your caption is today. I wasn't ready. Well, listen, I just opened the app, man. Y'all don't be wanting to be with the kids. And you know how I know? Because I'll never forget, and I think I mentioned this before, but we was in therapy, and the therapist, this nigga going around the mulberry bush about what I did to him, and I didn't make him feel loved, and blah blah blah. And she literally said, "What does that have to do with the baby?" Listen, what, sir? What does that have to do with the baby? Like, at the end of the day, she should be at the forefront. And people, and I think somebody made the comment about men not wanting to deal with the court system because historically, you know, the racial implications,
LJ.
et cetera. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. If you go to court and your hands are clean, like Judge Judy said at one time, don't go to court without clean hands. And if you know you going into a court situation and your hands are not clean, that's what you're intimidated by. Mm-hmm. Because anybody who's doing right and who is going through the right, you know, processes, whatever the case may be, he ain't got nothing to worry about in court.
You ain't worried about court.
Exactly. I seen a nigga say, a liar, you know, a nigga who lie. That's what that nigga do.
Hold on, wait, Kate. Watch the N word. I don't know if you was here. We not cursing, and we not saying the N word. We gotta watch out.
All right, saints.
Yeah. YouTube be flagging your boy, man. I can't do it no more.
Okay. So long story short, the man who is lying, who is an active liar, is going to get upset when you call him out on his lies. Mm-hmm. The man who ain't lying, he ain't got nothing to worry about because he's not a liar. So I said all that to say is, if you have such an issue with co-parenting with the mother or father of your children, go to court, because things can be ironed out in black and white. There's no ambiguity. There's no red tape. Y'all got a plan. And anytime there needs to be a modification to that plan, you go before the judge or you go on mediation and you work out the modification to that plan. Men don't want to put in any effort. Like, all the labor goes to the woman. So when the woman takes her time, files the paperwork, shows up to mediation, tries to set up, you know, co-parenting situations where, let's meet at the park. She's going above and beyond trying to do these things, and you not doing nothing. How you gonna show up to court talking about you want 50-50 or full custody?
That entitlement is crazy.
That's the part. And then I go a step further. I told the cousins, you even have family who enable these people, like my baby daddy. People tried to say he don't live there when they tried to serve the paper. But I peeped that bitch card. I peeped that lady card because she worked for a Department of Human Services in that town. And I called up there and I said, I want to speak to the supervisor, because what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna assist them with evade. And baby, they got that case up out their office so fast. Because one thing Pooh ain't gonna do is lose her job. So I said, I'd advise you to tell your son, just go on and get the paperwork. You know what the process is. You know what he needs to do. Instead of you trying to aid him and doing wrong and ended up homeless, you need to aid him and doing right. So stop putting the onus on the woman and then getting mad when the situation doesn't play out how you wanted to play out. Because the only reason you talked about joint custody or full custody is because you wanted to control that woman. You ain't give a crap about no full custody or joint custody. You don't give a crap about the kid. Low key, high key. You want control of that woman. The moment you don't have access to vagina, you don't want you don't care about those things. Hold on, okay. So Icy, come up. Stop saying you disagree. Make a point or get muted or come up. Just come up and state your claim, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kay. Anyway, that's my point. I'm co-parenting with Miss Rachel for the rest of the day. Phil had to go to work. So bet. I'll be in the chat. Bet. All right, Kay. Yeah, so Icy, come up, man. You said, oh, he go, he in the queue. See, I'm late. I was tardy to the party. What's up, brother? What did you disagree with, bro?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good.
No, I was just looking at the topic and Kay and stuff like that. I disagree with a couple of her statements. For one, it's just, I'm going to speak on my experience. I went through a divorce. She tried to keep the kid from me. I tried to do the co-parent route to be in my child's life. I tried to do it out of court to make everything simple. so we wouldn't have to spend money on lawyers and have to go through a court system to make a judgment where two consenting adults could make the judgment together as adults for the best purpose for our children. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they put their personal emotions before their children. So my thing is this: if you're out of a relationship, just end the relationship, but still do what's best for the child. But not all fathers are deadbeats. Not all fathers don't want to be in their kids' lives. Stuff like that. So I disagree with that.
Who said all? What does my prompt say?
Most.
Okay.
It does say most.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't speak in absolutes. I don't say all fathers are this way or all fathers are that way.
Okay.
But most fathers don't be fighting. I know that statistically they don't. And also most fathers don't want to be in their kids' lives. Even the ones that be in their kids' lives don't want to be in their kids' lives. Even when they're there. They're doing this.
Yeah, but most fathers go through, excuse my language, they go through the H word, HELL, to see their kids, and their ex-wives give
that
them
is not
HELL.
so icy. That's not true, and it's proven.
Right, well then I'll respectfully disagree with you. You know, I mean, like I said, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled.
It's no. But wait, hold on, wait, icy. It's not my opinion. Oh, he's sensitive. He is sensitive one. It's not my opinion, brother. He dropped. Most men don't go through hell to see their kid. Somebody said it earlier. That's the thing. Men think that just going to court is going through hell. Is that what we're saying now? Most men don't have to go to court, but those that do end up going to court, is that going through hell? Like, what happened? That's crazy. Nah, I don't think it's that serious, Jay. You think it's that serious?
I think he kind of told on himself because, like the thing is, for one, nothing is more annoying than the fact that people try to scapegoat a lot of these conversations by saying you shouldn't be emotional about it. This is my freaking kid.
Super emotional. I'm super emotional about it.
Emotional. Everybody should be emotional about their kid, especially, and it doesn't have to be something that's vicious and malicious. You may be just upset at the fact that you were trying to make the relationship work, or even if y'all amicably split, you'll be upset about I have an idea in my head of what I wanted for my kids, and now I'm not giving them that, so I'm upset. Like, of course you're emotional about your kids. But like you said, I think that they think that the fight is, I gotta go to court, or I gotta do this just to see my kid. Okay, that's your kid. What do you want me to say? Because when it's women, y'all always say that women need to pick better. Mm-hmm. Y'all always say the last dude that was up here, I think he was a YouTube caller, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Was talking about, picking the wrong women and betting and blah, 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 and all of that. Like, okay, if that's the game you want to play, then sure. Now, if we want to be honest about ourselves and say that, look, you were in a relationship with a woman, it didn't work out, and maybe she really did turn out crazy, and now you have to jump through all these hoops to get to your kid. Okay, I can relate to that. I can understand that. But let's be honest, the hoops ain't that small. They double the size of hula hoops that you got to jump through to get to your kids. And truthfully, I don't know that I'll ever understand why it is a man feels like, they shouldn't have to fight for their kids. I think you should always prepare yourself to fight for your kids. Because if you ain't fighting the mama or the grandma or the uncle, you fighting the teacher, you fighting administration, you fighting whoever, the school counselor.
You fighting George Bush Jr.
You know what I mean? You fight everybody for your kids all the time on behalf of your kids because you're their only voice. You're their advocate. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you already going through too much because you got to go to court so you can have something on paper that tells the mom, hey, I have this set amount of time with my kids because I'm going to get that time. Baby, you're not ready for parenthood in general, man.
Yeah, that just sounds like, sometimes you need to get that white man paperwork to make everything go smoothly. You know what I'm saying? I want to read this comment on TikTok. Miss Ty said he gave up as easy as he did for his kids.
He said, y'all making me fight too hard for these kids. I'ma drop. It took less than a That's accurate.
Oh my God. Damn, that was funny. All right, go ahead, Mona Moments. Damn.
Okay, my bad. Okay,
You good.
No, I just wanted to bring up how my grandfather was a more active father than my biological father, even though my grandpa lived in a different state.
Damn.
And my grandpa, born and raised in Milwaukee, but he moved to Detroit to work for Chrysler. My mom was born, he was in Detroit, and he couldn't make it back to Milwaukee for the birth, but that never stopped him from being an active parent in her life. He lived in Detroit her whole life, our whole lives, but we still saw him every year. Like, it didn't matter. He would drive 7-8 hours to come see us whenever we needed him to come see us. Like, he never made it seem like we were a burden because we wanted to spend time with him. So when I see men, like, complaining about not being able to see their kids, it's like, you don't have any fucking excuse to not see your kids other than you don't want to see your
Hey, wait. Hold on. Watch the F words. Watch the N words.
I said freaking. I'm sorry.
All right, you good. I just want to make sure we good. Go ahead.
But yeah, I like it's always a blame game, unfortunately. But I agree with the prompt. There's 100% no reason as to why you shouldn't want to fight to see your children. Those are your kids. You shouldn't want to fight to like not see them. You should want to be an active parent in your life. It's really not that hard.
Hey, somebody in my comments said, in one of my videos said, the fathers be fighting. They'll fight for some pit bulls before they fight for the kids.
Exactly. In a heartbeat. We'll fight for violence, but won't fight for their kids.
Man, y'all got to stop, man. These comments is crazy. But all right, Mona, I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Oh man. Hey, 600. Where we got? We got 67,000 likes. Let's get up to 100,000. We got 215 people over here. I know I know the room a little lightweight today, but it's 365 people on the YouTubes. Bang the Cash App one time. And then if you can, bang the Cash App one time. Keep the live alive. Let's get the super chats going too, man. We got them over here on YouTube. Don't forget, you can donate to the show. We trying to keep the live alive. That's what it is. If you like the content, please help keep it going. Go ahead, BBG.
Mona said something that was really dope about her granddad, and I think that was her granddad she mentioned. Where she talked about like there was not going to be a mountain high enough or a river, low enough or whatever that would stop him from getting to where they were. And I think that for a lot of men, they do underestimate the fact that their kids want them to come get them. Mm-hmm. They underestimate what it means to have a father that fights for you, that pushes for you, that that will do anything to get to where you are. That means a great deal of a lot to a kid, because when you have a father who makes a point to be like, Destiny, you loud. When you have a father that makes a point to to get to where you are, that manifests itself in how your kids eventually treat you. I look at my father-in-law, and it be getting on my nerves sometimes because I'm not a daddy's girl by any means, but my husband is, he's the baby boy of his family. And trust me, whenever Father's Day or whatever come around, him and his siblings are scrounging and scraping together, figuring out any way they can to celebrate they father on Father's Day. But that's because even though he had a whole lot of doggone kids, he made kids that wasn't his and that was his feel like they always had a dad that would come to wherever they were. Nice. So now he's, up in years, he gets sick and all of these other kinds of things. He always has kids around. He always has grandkids around who are willing to come to the hospital, who are willing to come wherever he is to get to him, because that's the behavior he modeled. A lot of men get up in years and they want to complain about their kids, don't want to call them and talk to them, and Father's Day this and blah blah blah. Sir, them kids don't want to get you nothing. They don't even want to make the macaroni necklace that they giving the mama.
Appreciate you, China. Yep.
But it's because of you are getting back the love that you gave.
Mm-hmm.
You gave minimal effort. You get back minimal effort. Like that's how the game goes.
Yep. You get what you give, man. Y'all gotta listen to that song. It's a great song. The New Radicals. Go listen to them. New Radicals. Get What You Get, one of my favorite songs from the 90s. But yeah, that's real talk though. A lot of men don't put forth, a lot of fathers don't put forth the effort. And then they just be expecting on the back end for the kids to just, be there and love them and respect them or whatever. And it's like, where was my love? Where was my respect? You know what I'm saying? So, duh. What did you think?
I think that it's sad. I think that, and I don't have a problem with using my own dad, as an example. Shout out to him. He's sitting in my mama's cabinet right now. But he didn't make an effort for his kids. So as he got older, he saw that his kids didn't make an effort for him. And I think it's sad to watch because you see somebody go from being able-bodied, big and strong, to literally withering away. And the difference is that you could have been there for your kids and had that same behavior reciprocated to you, and you didn't. And I think I think a lot of men don't think about that. They don't think about, like, even married men. There are married men who in the house with their kids, they don't bond with them kids. Like you said earlier, they sitting on the couch, the kids running around the house doing whatever the heck they big and bad enough to do. He don't know what they getting into at all, and he isn't developing any kind of relationship with them. And then they get older, the grandma passes first, and now he's trying to figure out how to scrounge and scrape together to find him some young woman to manipulate because he's lonely, because the kids don't want to bring their kids over. Nobody wants to be around him because they don't know. They lived in the house with him, but they don't know him. And I wish more men had enough insight to see how that looks in the future so that they could build those kind of relationships with their kids. But they rather just complain about the women. Yeah, ask your mama. They would rather complain about the women around them than to just be better people.
Real deal. They don't ever want to take any accountability for it. It's pretty interesting. And it's funny how they be the main ones like, you gonna die alone with your cats. And then they end up being the very ones to unalive alone with their cats. Or no cats, because the animals don't even like them. Half of y'all dogs don't like y'all. Quiet as kept.
That's bold.
Nah, for real, you know how it is. You got a dog in the house or whatever. The dog don't even like the man because the man don't do nothing for the damn dog. Don't pet it. Don't take it out.
And the dog walk by.
Yeah.
It's time to go back to the drawing board. You're at this point, you're a cartoon villain
in
your own house.
It's diabolical, man. It's sad though, because I've seen it too much personally. So I've seen too many men be that role that we're describing, that villainess role, and it's wild. I'm like, man, we gotta. That's why I be doing this stuff. That's why I be saying, like, I just be like, to me, I'm stating the obvious. I know to a lot of brothers and men in general that they're gonna feel. Appreciate you, Brandy's. They're gonna feel some type of way about it, but like, thanks, Kira. Appreciate the Cash App. I know a lot of men feel some type of way about it, but man, oh man, I really be wanting us just to be better, right? Like we gotta get we're not getting there because we keep saying the opposite of the truth. We keep denying the obvious truth, which is we are the drama, right? Like it's like all of this stuff is on us. Even the man, I wish I would have had a chance to get to it. I was gonna ask him eventually. Oh yeah, me and my baby mama, we fell out, blah, 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 blah. Why did y'all fall out? What happened? Like, I be just trying to figure out like where did the love go? What Erykah Badu say? Where did the love go? Right? Like that's what I be wondering. I'm like, when did that happen for y'all? Like what? Let's get to it. Let's unpack that a little bit, because y'all be acting like they try to tell basically the way that I look at when we had these conversations with dudes is imagine walking into a movie or imagine opening up a book and then just starting to read it from the beginning or the end of the book. Like you'll be like, okay, but why are they doing that? Like, why are they on this quest? Why did they, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what they be like. They start at, man, she was tripping on me in family court. And I'm like, wait, okay, let's back. Can we take it back a little bit? How did we get there though? Because you're not about to just tell me that woman just woke up one day hating you. You're not about to tell me that. You're not about to tell me that she hated you the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole way. You're not going to tell me that because you wouldn't be with her. So where did the love go? When and where did it? When did y'all fall out? How did y'all fall out? Like, let's get to that, because, and y'all know, once we start talking about that, what is it? Oh, she didn't let me neglect her for 10 years while I was building my empire. I don't even know, which that's the number one response I be hearing. Oh, I don't even know. You got to ask her. Let's ask her. Put her on the phone. Yeah, let's ask her. Let's put her on the phone, because magically, somehow, some way, when we get the moms, when we get the baby mamas on the phone and we get the wives on the line, it don't be what the dudes was telling us. And I've done it several times. I got the women on the line and the women blew up the dude's story. Like, I didn't see it. It's done happened a few times in my life. So excuse me for not believing y'all. That's all I'm saying. Excuse me for not believing y'all. That's all I'm saying. I just want to hear the other side of the story. I'll believe you. Once I hear her side of the story, I'll make a judgment, right? But if you think that I'm gonna take your word for it, when y'all will tell a lie when the truth will do to me. When I be talking to y'all and y'all will lie about the most obvious thing, I'll be like, does it get hot in Galveston, Texas? Nah, I don't get hot. What? Why y'all lying about it? This is obvious stuff, man. I'm just trying to see if you're going to lie about it. That's all it was. And you lied about it. And then moving forward, you expect us to believe you? I can't believe you moving forward now. You know, you be lying. You be lying about all types of stuff all the time. Yeah, it depends. All I asked you was, does it get hot in Galveston, Texas? That's all I asked you. Does it get hot down there? That's all I want to know. It's a yes or no question. Does it get hot? Yep, it gets hot. No, it gets. Y'all will say no. And then when we catch you in the lie, y'all try to make it make sense. Like, no, what I'm saying is, brother, I don't even want to hear it no more. You already lost your opportunity. So,
but I tell you, it's a combination of two things. I not only, and that's a good example. I not only want you to come here and be subject to the same heat that I'm subject to. That's the reason why I'm lying to you. And a lot of men, we've said this before, you know, the popular phrase now that they want cellmates and not soulmates. So they will lie to pull you into the BS that they have to be subjected to, or they'll lie knowing that they caused it. Like, that it's not, you know, global warming is the reason why it's hotter in Galveston, Texas than what it usually is. So instead of you forewarning me and taking steps to combat that, you would rather just tell me that it's not hot. And it never makes sense. It never actually adds up. And I think that because if you notice, every single time a man says that he has an issue with his baby mama and his wife, and you start to get to asking questions about why and how you didn't know about, it always circles back to them. Every single time. I don't think we've ever heard a story up here where you stop and go, oh, dang, man, she did that to you? Okay, you know what?
Rarely. Super. I've seen a couple, but nah, out of the, how many would you say we heard? I probably done heard about 300 or 400 of them, like, no cap. And it's probably been about 2 that I was like, damn.
I was going to give you more than that, but okay, I believe you.
2.
It's been about maybe 2 or 3.
2 or 3 of them. I'm like, damn, she did that, fam. Damn, that's crazy. Like, hold on, I gotta read the super chat. This is an interesting one too. It's from Anthony Reeves over here on YouTube. He said, my father told me that he ran from his 5th marriage. Buckle up. First of all, buckle up. Just buckle up. Hold on, this is crazy. He said a lot in this little paragraph. This was crazy. My father told me that he ran from his 5th marriage and his youngest daughter because he couldn't handle the financial burden. I've never felt more rage. He taught me how not to live my life. Damn. Hey, man, that's what hold on, Anthony. That's what I be hold on, man. Hold on. I'm so glad that last line is everything. The last line is everything. Don't forget, we can't let that last line go. I gotta address that one first. Because have y'all not heard men tell us so many times that the reason why we fall short as men is because we never had an example? And I be like, why don't y'all use the bad examples as your example? Which Anthony did. Use your brain. Use your brain, bro. You don't need a good example all the time. Sometimes you could use the bad example and be like, that's a bad example. I'm going to do the opposite of that. What? That's what Dominion said. That's what I did. That's what I did too, Dominion. This shit ain't rocket science. Y'all just be making up any and every freaking excuse, man. Any and every excuse. Thanks for the super chat, by the way, Anthony. That was worth it. That was crazy. Wow. Any and every single excuse men can make to minimize our role, to minimize our responsibility, we gonna do it. Fifth marriage also wild work. Fifth marriage is wild work. That's a lot of white man paperwork. Marriage? I ain't been in 5 relationships, y'all. I ain't been in 5.
Marriage.
I ain't been in 5 relationships. Marriage? Crazy.
He said yes to the dress 5 times. That is craziness.
Wild. That is nasty work. That don't even make sense to me. Wow. Okay. He loved marriage that much. Then he had a daughter and abandoned the daughter and the mother because he couldn't take the financial burden. Please.
And I think that is a valid point that you make. It could be one of those things where it's an example of what not to do. And then it's an example of the kind of man that you don't want to be. But way too many men are comfortable being like, you know what? My dad wasn't worth a doggone. I'm going to one-up him. I'm going to show him what it looks like to really do this deadbeat business if you're going to do it. Like, there are too many men comfortable with doing that. Or they legit following their dad's footsteps. Like, they be Lil Leroy Jr., like, out here, you know, laying it low and spreading it wide, just like they daddies. And then you hear about the granddaddy and the uncle and blah. They come from a long line of men who like lying. And instead of them doing better, they just choose to sort of adapt those same ideals. And then they do the same thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I watch my cousin and I make fun of him so often because he's a really, I'm about to sound problematic. He's a good person, and I'm so grateful that he's my cousin because of the fact that I don't ever have to worry about having to date him at any point in life. I don't never have to deal with him lying to me and doing the stuff that he does to women because of the fact that I watch him do things, and I'm like, I'll tell him flat out, like, you don't remember what happened with my daddy? Like, you don't recall? They're a big fellow. Like, you just, I love you. You my cousin, and I do love you. However, you saw the end of this movie. Like, why do you want to do a part 2? There should be no Bad Boys 4. Like, you.
I think it definitely shouldn't be a Bad Boys 4.
One ended in tragedies. Like, just stop right there.
I will say that I think the reason why men will continuously fall into these same traps and I won't say traps, but fall into that same mentality, that same, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think the reason why is because society, that's the default for men, man. Like, I don't know how y'all, like, man, I don't know how this is this hard to see, but as easy as it is for your cousin to be the person that he is, right, to women, should show you everything you need to know about how society breeds men to be like this. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because, like you said, why wouldn't you be able to look at the harm and the, and all of how the situation played out with somebody close to you in your own family? How can you not look at that situation and go, I don't want that for myself? Because he doesn't want that for himself. He doesn't. He does think, however, it ain't going to happen to him, I'm sure, but he doesn't want that for himself. But society tells him that is how you're supposed to be. I promise y'all that as a man, I guarantee y'all that is a part of it, is that society is telling him, he is led to believe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's okay. Also, where's the punishment in doing so? In the immediate, there's no punishment in the immediate for acting like that, right? But eventually, you may suffer. Eventually, you may suffer. But you ain't suffering now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's it. I'm telling y'all, like, man, I cannot tell you guys this enough. Our default as men is to be terrible. Come here, man. Look at this boy. Hey, he got that shit on. You gotta show him your bracelet, man. Show him your bracelet, man. Show him your jewels, man. Look at this fool. Your bracelet, not your ring. Look at this fool.
You just like an old man dad. Hey, show up. You clean, son.
I just looked over at him and just peeped how clean he was looking. I was like, this boy got that. He got that shit on today. I see you, boy. I see you. All right, man. I love you. He got on his little fresh New Balances. He ready. He ready for the world. Yeah, anyways, that was funny. Damn, that dude is, man, that baby funny as hell to me. He be making me laugh all the time.
I swear, I'm not trying to deviate from your topic, but I swear to you, my son got dressed up for his 5th grade graduation. And when I tell you, he was making us call him, his nickname was Fat Fat. He was making us call him Deacon Fat Fat because he was just so bad. Like, I cannot describe to you the way this man was just like into himself. And it just made me think of that when you said that in real life. That boy been waiting, man. He been waiting to put that shit on a long time. So when they do it, you gotta give him that.
He loved wearing that suit. I forgot all about that. I know he was loving it. That was a clean suit. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I seen this. That suit was clean.
Oh yeah, because we follow each other on IG.
Yeah, I seen that. That boy was clean. Look at that. That boy was clean, boy.
Feeling himself so bad.
Hey, I would have wore that suit every day for a week. Y'all had to come. I'd have been playing basketball in it and everything.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
I'd have been hooping in that. Y'all would have had to come get me. I'd have been in that suit. I'd have been in that mug every day. I'd have woke up. You'd have thought I was in a funeral home in the morgue or something. I'd have been sleeping in bed with the suit on, like a vampire. That man was clean. You can't tell him nothing. I love it. When the kids put on them suits, they be transported. They just turn into whole different people. What up, Tara? Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
First, I want to say 5 marriages is crazy. That man was proposing to everybody. That was wild.
I hope some of them asked him to marry them.
Nah. That's a lot.
5 is a lot, man.
That's a hell of a lot. And that man's still living? That's crazy.
Crazy.
I wanted to make 2 points though. The first one I wanted to say is it's like men get to act however they want, and women, we supposed to be saints or something. Because you'll have a man who will dog a woman out and then be like, well, I ain't with her no more, and the kids, and she not doing this. It's sorry, she mad at you. You treated her like shit. She mad at you. Like women are people too.
Yep.
And I know it's like, first of all, it's like, why did she default had the children? But it's like, I don't know. It's like all of a sudden because she a woman, she's supposed to be a saint and forgive everything you did. Like, no, you want to take the hard route, sir. You should have treated that woman better.
Facts.
The second part I want to say is a lot of guys don't like themselves. They uphold patriarchy and all that stuff, but they don't like themselves. So like when you see you see yourself in your children, and you actually love yourself, you're gonna take good care of your children. But if you don't like yourself, then it's like you gonna think of your kids as like
a burden. A burden.
Yeah, the kids are casualties. It's like you're not even worried about them kids. You ain't even worried about yourself. And that says a lot more about you than to do them children. And I think a lot of guys, they can't be honest with themselves and admit that.
Well, I mean, that's a heavy thing to admit that you don't love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, that's a tough one.
But that was it. That was my 2 points.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, that was it. That's all. I ain't gonna sit up here and ramble. Thanks for letting me up, though.
All right, Terry, you good? Appreciate you. Man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm still a little stunned. I'm unpacking my guy's comment still. That shit was crazy. He put a lot in that little paragraph, man. That was a lot. He abandoned the wife and the daughter. What? On his 5th marriage? Like, what?
But just think about like all the stuff you got to do to get married. Like that man really went to the courthouse or to the, down to whatever government agency you got to go to in your state. 5 times. Like, he really went down there. Unless he did it in different states, which is the only way that could. You got to do it in a different city, different state, because ain't no way I'm going to no courthouse that I went to with my current husband, and now I'm on my 3rd or 4th or 5th, and I'm going in that same place and letting them people see me again.
That's like I think that would be comparable to like taking taking different girls to the same spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the same, like on a date, like your first date or whatever the case may be, and then you walk in and the waiter's like, "Oh, you're back," and you're like, "You don't know me. You don't know me.
What's your specials? You got.
I've never been here before. What are you talking about? You never been to Applebee's? I never been to this one. Tell me what the specials is, dummy."
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. And I don't. You know what? I agree with Tara. I don't think any of them women proposed to him. I think he was out here asking 5 times.
Oh yeah, no, he asked 5 times. Yeah.
That's crazy. And how do you explain? Did he have kids with all of these women?
That's the thing. Well, he was old. Not old. The guy who made the comment, he was older. You know what I'm saying? He was a grown man, obviously. And when he said he abandoned the daughter, that means the daughter was under 18. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how did I'm guessing the dad was old too, and he was marrying like a young woman, and he got a young woman pregnant. That's what I think.
You know what though? We need more content. I don't know who this dude is or where.
I know. I want him to come up. I want him to come up and explain it.
When was this? Because
this is crazy.
Now I'm wondering, like, if this was back in the day, I do believe that he for sure could have got married 5 times. Now I wouldn't do that because you got all kind of paperwork you got to sign. Then you got to go through full divorce all over again. It's not like way back when you got married and then you just skipped town and you went someplace else, and then you got married again and then you skipped town and you went. You know what I mean? Like you got to go through the process now. So I'm wondering when this was. Like, how was he doing this? How far apart were they? Because even if he was old, like, how long was he married to these people?
That's a good question. Ray Riz, I really do, brother. I know you like to be in them comments tapping. I've been trying to run my YouTube a little bit different, man. I don't be wanting to block y'all. But brother, if you don't jump up in this box, brother, I'm gonna have to mute you. I'm gonna be nice and mute you today. But next time you get to tapping again and you not yapping, I'm just gonna boot you. Cause you just say problematic stuff. Had a conversation. Stop being scary. Name one good man. That's what he asked. Name one good man. I'll wait. Not you. Not you. Don't worry about it. I know somebody that knows somebody. Not you.
That's weird. That's a weird take. I'm really curious about, because I know a lady. I listened to a lady. I went to like this conference one time, and this lady talked about being married 4 times, and she was older, but she wasn't old. She was like in her 50s, and I'm like, 4 times? Explain that. And I mean, the math started adding up because she said the first time she got married, she was in church and she wanted to, do, and she was 18, and she had been dating this guy for a year or so, and everybody was like kind of pressuring her, like, hey, go ahead and get married, and she did. But she realized that, it wasn't the right thing to do. And then they amicably split like after 2 or 3 years. The second husband she had passed. The third husband she had left. Like, he just came to dinner one time and was like, yeah, I think I'm done. And she was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, yeah, I think I'm done with the marriage. And legit, just like after he ate, which was weird, walked off and left. And then she got married the last time that she got married. But I mean, again, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that adds up. Yeah.
But I'm curious as like, did some of these wives pass away?
I would think at least one of them did. You know what I'm saying? Because that just the odds of that is just crazy though. 5 wives. I don't know.
I hope so. But
I know. I don't hope so, but like it just logically thinking about it, I'm like, probably one of them did. Go ahead, Shawnee.
Hey, Papa. I just wanted to get up here real quick. I wish men would just straight up admit that they don't want kids at all, because it doesn't make sense to have all this animosity towards like women, and yet you're still like reproducing with them when you could have just got fixed. But then when we tell y'all to go get fixed, y'all do all these like mental gymnastics and try to justify like it's violating like your manhood, because apparently you got your like masculinity wrapped around procreating with women, not necessarily like actually being a father and taking care of the kids. And I think that's problematic in itself when we tell y'all, hey, maybe you should take some precautions if you truly don't want kids, but then y'all be the main ones that have like multiple kids with multiple women. So like the logic don't be adding up for me.
Yeah, the logic, yeah, the math hardly ever be math, and that's for sure. When you talk to them, it don't quite connect. So yeah, I understand that.
Just like I wish like they will also admit that they use like motherhood, they weaponize like motherhood and pregnancy against women to trap them, because if you get all this pushback about even not wearing like contraceptives like condoms, and then you don't even want to take the route to go get a vasectomy even when other men encourage y'all to get them, like it's giving red flag. It's like you're intentionally trying to get women pregnant to keep them around. That's basically what y'all be admitting, but y'all do it in a very passive aggressive way because y'all don't be saying shit with your chest. And then y'all be upset when women be clocking what y'all be actually implying and be in denial about it. When it's just say that you trapped that woman because you was trying to keep her around. You kind of felt that she was getting away, so you had to think of a plan to get her to stay, and you knew that getting her pregnant she was more likely to stay. I wish I would just admit that instead of dancing around like when people do ask y'all about this stuff.
Ain't no man gonna admit that. That's damn near like admitting that you was a rapist or something like that. Like ain't nobody about to just come on here and tell us that. That's crazy. Cause that should be illegal, to be honest with you. Impregnating a woman just to keep her in your life, you should at least pay a fine if it's proven. Like I don't understand that at all. That's crazy. But hey y'all, I'm about to wrap this up. Y'all see my baby, he fresh. We about to get up out of here. I'll be back on tomorrow for Father's Day for a little bit, and then I'll be free on Tuesday. I get my main account back on Tuesday. I actually get it back Monday afternoon, but I ain't gonna go live Monday afternoon. I don't know. We're probably about to just get in these streets. Yeah, we was outside all day yesterday, but we about to get back. We about to get back active. But I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody on TikTok, on YouTube's. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Y'all have a great day. I almost said blessed. See, I've been around y'all church folk too long. Have a great day. Have a great Father's Day. Early tomorrow. Have get some of that good Father's Day vagina if you a daddy. I don't know what these dudes be complaining about getting vagina on Father's Day for. That shit. Yeah. I'ma always take that present. Always. That's gonna always be my go-to. So yeah. You ain't got to worry about nothing. It's Father's Day. It ain't my birthday or nothing like that. My birthday, I expect a little bit more. Father's Day? You know what time it is. Appreciate everybody. They do take it. I just don't understand why they take it and complain. I'll be like, how you gonna take some shit? How you gonna take some shit and complain about it, nigga? What the fuck? Y'all crazy as hell. Get my mic straight. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out everybody that banged the cash app. Banged the cash app one time on the way out. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate everybody joining us today. It was fun. It was a good live. I ain't even in that, but exactly, logic. Like, who gonna deny that? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all, man. That's crazy. Y'all be so disrespectful. Y'all be so disrespectful, man. I done seen it too many times. Oh, like y'all really just like saying the opposite of the truth. Crazy. But yeah. All right, y'all. I'm out.